The week of June 22nd up until June 28th is going to be a crazy packed week. This is going to be such a long video compared to what I usually do, just because there's so much going on that I want to tell you guys about, and I really hope you take advantage of all this information I'm going to give you. This is going to be kind of an information dump, and there's going to be a lot to understand. So it's okay if you do come back to this video at a separate time. I'm going to try to lay it out as simple, but go into enough detail where you understand what you need to do for yourself. And I'm going to try to tell you what I'm going to do personally so you can kind of adapt with what I do to make it work for you. So let's get started by looking into Monday. This is Go with LO1. So starting off with Monday, it's going to be Max Monday like it is every week. It's going to be running from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. local time, with Dynamax Hoot Hoot taking over Power Spots. Power Spots are also going to refresh faster, and there will be more out there. So for Dynamax Hoot Hoot, literally any electric, ice, or rock type should counter this. It, one person can do it, and I do think it's a great way to use your max particles that you've been collecting over the week. You can end up getting rare candy from these, rare XL candy even. Pretty sure it's pretty rare, but I mean, it's gonna be easy. And if you're just out and about, I personally don't think there's a reason not to do these. I mean, it's not gonna be a very good Pokemon, and we're gonna get into that in just a second. But the rewards itself are pretty good, especially being able to put more Pokemon into power spots because there's gonna be so many. And if more people get out there and do them, then you'll get the bonus candy from people doing them when your Pokemon returns from the power spot. So, especially with like a Pokemon, like a legendary that's hard to get candy for, I think it's a pretty easy and budget way to get candy, especially for free to play players. So, looking into Dynamax Hoot Hoot, I don't really recommend it for any sort of max battles. It's not really good. Uh, Neither is Knockdown, which is its evolution. It's not very good. It's going to have a Hundo CP of 387, and it's going to be 100 or 1 in 512 shiny odds. For PvE, um, it's not very good either. It's not very good in PvP. It's got a kind of a cool shiny. It's gold. So if you like collecting, this would be a decent way to get some or a good chance at them. But like past that, it is not remarkable whatsoever. So moving to Tuesday, we're gonna have Showcase Tuesday. They're gonna appear more across the map. You can enter up to 5 now, which is pretty cool. I actually am working towards the PhD Professor Pikachu. Not making good progress whatsoever. I just can't seem to win any of these, but hey, you can enter 5 now, so that's good. The GBL rotation, we're just gonna have standard Great League, standard Ultra League, standard Master League. Just kind of the basics. The Flying Taxi event's going to be starting, and today will also be the last day to raid for Necrozma and Mega Scizor. Necrozma's 2104, Hundo CP 2630 for a weather boost with 1 in 20 shiny odds. So if you want more on that information, it is in my previous video, but again, we are running the latter half of it, so it might be a little too late. So going back to the Flying Taxi event that I just like quickly said, brand new event. It's gonna bring new Pokemon debuts, wild encounter shifts, new field research tasks and encounters. There's gonna be new Pokemon in 1 and 3 star raids and a little bit more. And I'm gonna go into all of that just right now, actually. So the first thing I want to bring up is the new Pokemon debuts. So Squawkabilly will be making its debut. Um, so the yellow plumage can be found globally. That's the one in the middle. The green plumage can only be found in the eastern hemisphere, which is the one on the left. And the blue plumage can only be found in the western hemisphere, which is the one on the right. There's nothing too remarkable about this Pokemon, but it's cool that they're slowly bringing Pokemon from other generations that have not been added to the game. I do appreciate that. Um, the wild encounters are a little more exciting. We're going to have Hoot Hoot again, unfortunately. Rookity, that's a pretty good one. Corviknight's pretty prevalent, especially in Great League and Ultra League and PvP, and more. So rarely, white plumage can be found. That is going to be anywhere. He's just going to be out and about. He's a pretty rare spawn, but Hoot Hoot and Rookity can both be shiny eligible. So I do love shiny Corviknight, so that is a personal favorite of mine. So we'll be trying to get one of those. So for field research, Spearow, Hoot Hoot, Rookity, Squawkabilly, and Watchroll are all going to be shiny eligible. Um, Found from the special research, Squawkabilly will not, though. Only his regional form. So if you're in the Western, you'll only be able to get your specific color, which is unfortunate. But it just allows for better remote trades with maybe a friend across the world. Um, so for 1 and 3 star raid bosses, for 1 star we're gonna have Swablu, Starly, and Volibly. All three of those are shiny eligible. For 3 stars, we're gonna have Hisui and Bravery, Corvusquire, and Bombardier. All three of those are also shiny eligible. So personally, I don't like wasting raid passes on Pokemon like that, so I will be holding mine for 5 star legendary raids and also for the mega raids. We'll get into that very shortly. So, like all events that basically get added to this game, there is a Go Pass and Go Pass Deluxe. So, trainers will automatically receive the free Go Pass at 10 a.m. local time on June 23rd. From June 27th until 12 in the morning to June 29th at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. Sorry, there will be no limit to how many Go Pass points you can earn. So technically, if you are behind, you can just max it out. It's going to be pretty easy to do. And rewards earned before the cutoff period will expire on July 1st at 8 p.m. So for the Go Pass Deluxe, it's going to be $5 or $7 for the 7 extra levels. Tier 1, you're going to get 2x catch candy. And for Tier 2, you're going to get extra Stardust from Go Rocket Battles. That's a little foreshadowing to what I'm going to get into later in the video. So stick around for that. It's pretty exciting stuff, I gotta say myself. So the featured Pokemon rewards from the passes is you're going to get an encounter with Pidgeotto, Hoot Hoot again, unfortunately, Volibee, Rookity, and more. You're going to get 1 Super Rocket Radar, more foreshadowing, mysterious components and shadow shards, even more foreshadowing. So from the deluxe pass, there's going to be additional flying type encounters. So I'm assuming it's going to be more Rookities, Volibees, etc. Hopefully no more Hoot Hoots. I'm pretty tired of that Pokemon. An additional Super Rocket Radar and even more. So I don't know. Team Rocket seems pretty prevalent in this event. I wonder what's going to happen there. So we're going to hit a complete 180 and start looking at the red rotation on June 28th, which would be the Wednesday. So Kartana, Celesteela are both returning to 5-star raids, with raid hour taking place from 6 to 7 p.m. local time, like always. Kartana will only be available in the Northern Hemisphere, unfortunately. Same with Celesteela being found in the Southern Hemisphere. Both will be 1 in 20 shiny odds. But for Kartana, the Hundo CP you're looking for is 2101, or weather boosted will be 2626. For Celesteela, it'll be 1772 or 2216 for weather boost. So looking into these Pokemon individually, Kartana will be the number 2. She is the number 2 grass type attacker with Razor Leaf and Leaf Blade, so it requires no elite charge TMs to be amazing, which is just awesome. So I think this is a Pokemon definitely worth grinding, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Like this will be where all my raid passes are going throughout the week. Best counters will be Mega Blaziken, Mega Charizard Y, Blacephalon, Shadow Heatran, Shadow Moltres, Mega Charizard X, Reshiram, Cinderace, Chandelure, Darmanitan, and Blaziken. Something to note, it is a grass steel type, so literally any fire type should do fine because it has the 4x weakness to it. So just bring fire types, your best fire types, and it should get the trick. So comparatively, Celesteela is pretty underwhelming. It's the 95th Steel type with Air Slash and Heavy Slam. Number 96 Flying type with Air Slash and Heavy Slam. So same moveset, it's just not nearly as good. So if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, I do feel a little bad for you. But if you do plan on raiding this, your best counters are going to be Shadow Thundurus, Therian form, Mega Blaziken, Mega Charizard Y, Blacephalon, Shadow Heatran, Regieleki, Shadow Blaziken, and then for some budget counters, Cinderace, Chandelure, Darmanitan, and Blaziken. Very similar. Both of these Pokemon share the Steel typing. It's just Celesteela also has a Flying type. So just kind of use your best discretion there. But this is not a Pokemon worth raiding, in my opinion. So Mega Pidgeot is going to be returning for the Mega Raids. It's going to be 1 in 60 shiny odds because Even though it does say 1 in 20, it will be 1 in 60. It'll have a Hundo CP of 1216 and a weather boosted CP of 1521. It'll be the 9th best flying type with Gust and Brave Bird. Now, Gust is a legacy move, and it will not come with it unless otherwise stated. So you will have to use an Elite Charge TM. I'd probably not do that. It's up to you, though. You know, your game. It's not recommended to be used as a normal type. It's pretty terrible. But normal types kind of suck anyways. Your best counters are going to be Shadow Thunderous, White Kyurem, Regieleki, Mega Diancie, Mega Mewtwo Y, Shadow Rhyperior, Shadow Rampardos, and some budget counters are going to be regular Rampardos, Tyranitar, and Rhyperior. So looking into Thursday, so we're going to have GBL Thursday, where your daily GBL sets are going to be increased from 5 to 10 with a 4x Stardust win reward. This is probably the best day to do your GBL sets. I know it's pretty hard, pretty rough to do, but it's definitely worth it. The new Spotlight Hour, this will be the second one we've had since they've reintroduced them. I'm so glad they did that. It's going to be Wingull. It's going to have a 2x Catch Stardust. There's more information on all of the Spotlight Hours in a previous video. I do recommend going to look at that. And what I was foreshadowing at earlier, which I thought was pretty obvious, Flying Taxi taking over. Team Rocket is taking over the Flying Taxi event. You might be asking, what does that mean? Well, let me tell you. Like every other single taken over event, Team Rocket is here. They will appear more often in stops and balloons. Charged TMs will be able to remove frustration. And Pokemon caught via 1 and 3-star raids during the event will have a wider variance of attacks, defense, and HP. So basically, it's easier to hunt for PvP IVs, which some people just don't care about, but that is pretty big if you are into PvP. Shadow Pokemon are some of the best. And the best part of this event is taking advantage of charge teams being able to remove frustration, because normally you cannot do that. And the only way to bypass frustration would be using and double moving a Pokemon to where you have 2 charge moves and just sucking it up and having one with frustration. So this is the best time. My biggest advice here would be to go ahead and tag all the Pokemon you have that have frustration, and then whenever the event starts, just charge TM and get rid of it. But yeah, so I think this is a pretty good event. You only get a couple of these a year. The last one was a Steel Resolve event, and it definitely gave me a big account boost when I was actually able to use my Shadow Pokemon and get rid of them with frustration. And also grind the Team Go Rocket Grunts. The Shadow Pokemon are very good, and I did not realize that until here recently. So this is probably the most excited thing I've been for a Go Rocket video. Shadow Reshiram is here. Super Rocket Radars can be used to encounter Giovanni, who can now only be found at Pokestops. So used to, if you had a Super Rocket Radar, Giovanni would just kind of like pull up to your house, which I don't know how to feel about that. But upon defeat, he will reward you with the chance to catch Shadow Reshiram, who is just crazy. He's just a crazy Pokemon. We're going to get into that shortly. But Purified and Shadow Pokemon cannot be used to fuse with each other. So you won't be able to use, for example, Shadow Reshiram to fuse with Kyurem to make White Kyurem. And even if you Purify Reshiram, he can't fuse. And I think that's because I feel like Shadow Kyurem will come to the game. I'm assuming this also applies with Lunala and Solgaleo and Necrozma, but Shadow Kyurem will come to the game, and it's to prevent people from, say, getting like a very good IV Shadow Kyurem, purifying it, and having it like close to a hundo. So I kind of think this is the deterrent for that, and also making it where you can't have a Shadow White Kyurem or Black Kyurem, which would probably just be the greatest Pokemon ever, honestly, because the Kyurem fusions are already so good. So there's going to be new Shadow Pokemon. Go Rocket Leaders will have a different rotation of Pokemon. I don't believe that there's any new ones, but they're just going to have different ones. The new following Pokemon can be found as Shadow Pokemon from Rocket Grunts. It's going to be Seal, Hoot Hoot, again, unfortunately, Noibat, and Rookidee. All 4 of these are shiny eligible, but not boosted. There will be new special research that rewards normal TMs, charge TMs, and mysterious components. So this is a good time to grind T-Rocket Grunts. It's also probably going to give around 1,000 Stardust per beating a Grunt, and even more from Giovanni and the Go Rocket Leaders. So, getting into how good these Pokemon are going to be, Shadow Noctowl, terrible. Um, Shadow Dugong, terrible. It's just these are very unremarkable Pokemon. And then looking at Shadow Noivern, it's going to be underwhelming. PvP is not recommended. Shadow Corviknight is not recommended into PvE. But in PvP, this is a highly anticipated Pokemon. People have been waiting for this for like ever. Like ever since Corviknight became like what he is in the Go Battle League. So the exact stats and how good he's going to be has not been like established, but there's a good chance he's going to be like crazy. So the Pokemon you actually care about, and I know that you're just probably watching this area just to get to this Pokemon, Shadow Reshiram. Shadow Reshiram's a monster. As a fire type, he's going to be number 3 with Fire Fang and Fusion Flare. I don't believe he's going to have Fusion Flare. Well, he'll have Frustration, so you have to TM Frustration off. Do make sure you do that during this event, and then use a Legacy Charge TM to then teach him Fusion Flare to get him to be this good. As a Dragon type, he'll be number 12 with Dragon Breath and Draco Meteor, and that is not needed for him to have an Elite TM. Well, in PvP, so I think this is probably also a very good area for him. So he's not ranked yet because, he hasn't been added to the game. But Shadow Reshiram should be broken in the Master League. There's some pretty good outstanding thoughts about him. And then he'll have some usage in the Ultra League as well. All of this info I've said about all the Shadow Pokemon and stuff, it is likely to change due to them not being in the game yet. So when they do get added and tested over a week or so, you should be able to check Pokemon Go Hub or just any sort of PvP rankings, and you'll get a better idea of how good they really are. So looking into the latter half of this week, we have Friendship Friday. You're going to get 2 special trades, an increased lucky chance of a trade happening, discounted Stardust trades, and guaranteed XL candy on trades. So at when you get the +4 candy at 100 kilometers or plus distance trade, instead of just getting 1 XL candy, I'm pretty sure you get 2 now. So it's a good day to get your 100 trades, especially with the chance for 2 special trades. It's a good time to mirror trade some legendaries or shinies and just hope, So the last big event that's going to be happening this weekend is going to be Super Mega Skarmory Raid Day on Saturday. You can expect the remote raid limit to be increased from 10 to 20. You're going to get 6 free daily raid passes from spinning gems, and these do not stack. So you can go into the day with 1 already, and then get 6 more throughout the day, leading you to have up to 7. Increased chance to encounter Shiny Skarmory from Super Mega Raids. So instead of him being a 1 in 60 odd, he'll be a 1 in 25 odds. You'll get a free time research that can expire, and a paid research ticket, which will be $5 USD. Mega Skarmory, the raid day, so the time research will be free to all players and will reward a premium battle pass and an encounter with Houndoom. Rewards must be claimed before the timer ends. So for the paid ticket, up to 14 raid passes you'll get from spinning gems, with increased chance for rare candy XL, 5,000 XP extra from Super Mega Raids, and 5,000 extra Stardust from Super Mega Raids. So the Super Mega Raid mechanic is a little different compared to regular Mega Raids or even other just regular raids. So only certain gyms can contain these Super Mega Raids, which can be found on the Pokemon Go map online. And it will require at least 8 trainers, each with their own Mega Pokemon, to break the shields. So it doesn't matter what Mega Pokemon you bring, you just need to make sure if you only have 8 trainers, you bring a Mega Pokemon, or each of you bring a Mega Pokemon to break their shield. So Mega Skarmory is just not recommended for PvP or PvE. Your best counters are going to be Mega Charizard Y, Shadow Reshiram, Shadow Thundurus Therian form, Shadow Heatran, Shadow Raikou, Regieleki, Shadow Magnezone, and for some budget counters, Blaziken, Chandelure, Cinderace, and Magnezone. So you might be asking, is it worth this event? Is it worth partaking? I would say yes, definitely. So Mega Skarmory is the first Super Mega Steel type to be in the game, and the Super Megas go up to level 4 compared to regular Megas going only up to level 3. So this is the first level 4 Mega Pokemon that you'll be able to get for the Steel type, and also one of the few for Flying types. So just that extra coverage for the Super Mega levels to have, just to passively increase over time. Plus, I think he looked really cool. I love the shiny, like regular Skarmory, and I love how when he Mega Evolves, they flip together. But I think this is a worthwhile event to at least get one, catch one, just to have the Mega level increasing in the background over time. But I mean, I don't think it's too much distress, but I do think it's worth getting at least one. So to finish off the week, we have Scenic Sunday. As per usual, more Pokemon will appear on routes. Instances will attract even more Pokemon while following routes. Reduce distance to earn candy while walking a buddy on a route. And encountering Mateo up to 3 times at the end of routes every day on Sunday. So I'm glad that they are finally making routes not just a miserable experience. Now, this is a good chance to get your Zygarde cells. So, please go do it. Just get outside, play the game, enjoy the game, love the game. It's awesome. Get to know your community, man. Anyways, thanks for watching. This has been LO1, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.